Oh, hello, everybody, and welcome to this session of Business Bitesize. And this time I thought we'd have a look at one of my favorite tools, which is the competitor analysis. And the reason I like this tool is because it actually asks you to do two things. It asks you to think about your competitors. I think that's fairly obvious from the clues in the name there. But it more importantly asks you to think about why customers are buying the products that you make or the services that you provide. And I think what's important here is that we often get very sort of inward looking, and we think a lot about our businesses a lot of the time, and we get quite inward looking. And this tool forces us to look outwards in two respects. It forces us to think about, as I said, our competitors, but more importantly, it forces us to think about the products and the services that we provide. So I've just started to draft one on the screen, and the first step in this process is to identify the factors down the left-hand side. So we want to do a session with some people to try and work out what are the key reasons, what are the key factors that the buyer uses in making their buy decision. So the product or service we're providing, what are customers using to compare our product with other competitor products? And my experience with this is that very often the first thing that gets suggested is price. We can have a separate conversation about why I suggest that there are other factors. If customers are choosing your product based on price, it's because, in my view, they can't see any other difference. And we need to make sure that they do understand the value and why your product is different to other products. So on the left hand side, I just suggested some. Again, this is quite a useful exercise in itself to go through with the team to identify what these factors are. It can be quite a long debate, and not a bad debate to have at all. So I've just suggested some here. So price, experience of the team, how well we respond to queries and calls, how easy we are to deal with, and perhaps how innovative we are in terms of developing our products or services. So those are the things that I've suggested. The next step then is to give each of these a weighting. So we want to weight 100 points across each of these factors. So I'm going to suggest actually that response time is 30. Let's give experience 40, so that's 70. Let's say price is lower at 20, so that gives us 5 for each of these two. So when we come to ours, to make the process a little bit easier, we're going to use us as a benchmark. So we put us in and we're going to give us half marks. So the weighting that we've given is the maximum marks we can give to anybody for each factor. And we're going to give ourselves half marks. So we become the benchmark. So now work across, and it's quite simple here. How does our price compare to competitor A, or how does competitor A's price compares to our price? Are they more expensive or less expensive than us? So let's say, well, they're just a little bit more expensive. B are quite a lot more expensive, and C are less expensive than us. In terms of experience, who's got the most experience? Well, we think that we've got more experience than competitor A. Competitor B has got more experience than us, and competitor C, we'd say, just has got little experience. In terms of response time, we like to think that we're the best in the industry on this one. So we're better than A, we think we're better than B, we think we're better than C, and so on. So then for the others. And when we've done the exercise, we just add up the numbers. Let's say that comes out at 40. This one comes out at 60, and this one comes out at 30. So now we can see that actually on our own rankings, using the factors that we've arrived at, that actually competitor B has essentially got a stronger product than we have. So what we then need to do is to start thinking about why that is. Where are they scoring more highly than we are? Why are they scoring more highly than we are? So we can then start to take that apart and think about some of the actions or the steps that we might need to take to try and lift our potential mark above those of our competitors. So that's the competitor analysis. As I said, one of the reasons I like it is because it does ask you the question, and you have to look at your products and services from the viewpoint of your customer, which is something that actually we can easily fall out of the habit of. We like to think and think we know everything there is to know about our own business, but it's really powerful to step into the shoes of your customer Once we've done that, we can assess how we perform against our competitors on the things that are important to our customers. And then we can start to see where our weaknesses might be and start to think about the actions that we need to take to lift our score so we become the most attractive provider in the market. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.